All right, so I'm going to give you a quick update on how gas farming has been going. It's going more good than bad. That's about the best way to say it. A couple projects are doing really good. One project's not doing so good right now. It may just be growing pains. I'm just going to give you a heads up on knowing what's going on where on this journey, because I know a lot of you are watching. This is really innovative stuff. I mean, gas tokens have a lot of potential. If you don't know what gas tokens are, just to quickly give you a brief recap, and I'll tell you where you can get some more detailed information. I'm also going to discuss some common questions, and I'm going to tell you what's going on specifically with each project in this video, at least what has been my experience with each project. That's what I'll tell you, because I don't know specifically what's going on behind the scenes. So first things first, gas tokens are simply a way to get reimbursed for the gas that you spend. So right now, to do a transaction on Ethereum, it's going to cost you about $288 to $230, $300 to $331 GUI, which is going to be several dollars, probably over $50 without looking it up to see how much it is. It's probably over $50 to complete a transaction right now. So if you wanted to go and exchange one Ethereum token for another, you're going to have to pay a lot of gas fees. So what the gas tokens do is they're trying to use some simple tokenomics to create a non-inflationary token where you are able to earn that token back. And you're able to basically sell that token on Uniswap and get up to 90% of your gas back that you spend. And the way that it works, if you want to understand some more of the tokenomics, I recommend go ahead. I'll put a video up here when UniDexGas, which has probably been the most stable, the best working project. When they launched, I went through their tokenomics shortly after they launched. I'll put that video above. You can kind of watch it. And when people go through this, they oftentimes, they have a lot of questions like, how does it work? Is it a Ponzi scheme? They don't understand. No, it's designed to be a non-inflationary token. How they get the tokens to give you cash back is through various fees that they charge on the platform. And the question is it sustainable? How does it work? And I'm going to be talking about that in this video. But if you want to understand this tokenomics a little bit better, if you have questions, then I'll link another video above. It's basically some of the most commonly asked questions about the gas farming, the gas tokens, etc. So gas farming is when you have more than one gas token that you're earning cash back on. So in theory, you could sell those tokens and earn a profit. So if I did a $50 transaction, I would get $50 worth of tokens here, $50 worth of tokens on Ethanol, and then $50 worth of tokens back on Gasgains, which are the 3 tokens that I'm using. And in theory, you could sell those tokens and earn a profit. Because even after you paid fees, because there are fees of like 10% to claim your rewards or whatever, even after fees, you still earn a profit. That's the idea behind gas farming. As long as these work smoothly and the projects work smoothly and the tokenomics are really good. So I'm going to first start with Gasgains, which is having the most problems, and I'm going to move forward to UniDexGas, which is having the least problems, just to kind of give you some heads up. As these projects flesh out and we find out who are going to succeed, who are going to fail, I want to do a longer playlist on my channel talking about gas tokens and gas farming, but I'm trying to wait and see who's going to actually succeed at this. So first things first, Gasgains is having problems right now. Just a hint at how their tokenomics work. When you buy and sell their token, you pay a 5% fee if you buy and sell their token. There are people buying this token. The price is going up, but the main reason the price is going up, and I think some people are FOMO buying. I don't even think they know what they're doing. The reason the price is going up is because there's a lot of tokens locked up. People don't have access to their tokens, and they can't sell tokens right now. So used to, as of yesterday, there was a box up here that would say upcoming cash back. They removed that box. So in theory, I'm supposed to have about $500 worth of cash back that's coming back to me. Now, Gasgains, their idea was you could earn your gas back over a 30-day period. It wasn't claimable every day. You didn't have a daily limit. The other tokens give you like a daily limit. Gasgains, there's no daily limit. You can earn it all back, up to 75% of the value that you hold. So 75%, I'm holding $2,200 worth of tokens. I should be able to get $1,653 back in gas cash back. And that's my limit for the month in theory. So this claimable thing got removed. They used to say that you could claim rewards every 2 days. the problem is I haven't gotten a cash back in about 4 days. Now, they said that if you didn't get it, you could submit a form. I didn't worry about the form because I wasn't certain if I thought I had my days wrong. I thought tomorrow, sometime overnight when I was asleep, I was going to be able to get cash back. But when I woke up this morning, I didn't have it. I started thinking, wait, it's been 3 to 4 days now. Like, I should have gotten that by now. And then I noticed that the whole box was removed. So I go into Telegram, and it's just a crap show in there. The dev in Telegram has been extremely communicative, if I'm saying that properly. And now no one's talking. And there's a sudden thing up there that says, hey, there's going to be a timer added to the website, and now you're going to be able to claim on the 10th, and we're moving claims to once a week instead of every other day. Now, this partially makes sense. Understand, I'm not saying they've totally, messed up, scammed out, but there are some problems here. The number one issue is lack of communication, especially when they've been communicating this whole time. The other thing is making changes without telling people or without explaining the changes. Now, the reason they removed this box is because the box was messed up. It was supposed, the box that said upcoming cash back was supposed to max out at like $16.53, but it was going beyond that for people. People were supposed to be getting like $100 cash back, and it was showing like $500, and then they were wondering why they weren't getting their $500. People in crypto are so silly. Why am I not getting 5 times more than I was supposed to be getting? And the box was just pulling the numbers wrong. It was calculating wrong. It wasn't showing the cap. Clearly, something needed to be done to fix that, and stop the confusion. But instead, they remove it. Again, removing it is not the problem. Not communicating about the removal, putting a pin post, and kicking next claims down out several days, to me, is the problem. And then not responding to anybody in Telegram. To me, that's the problem. Now, the other challenge is here that someone pointed out in Telegram is that there's an issue with this token. Because there's no cap on your claims, in theory, you could spend this every single day. There's a real potential problem. Let's just say that you have, 500 Gasgains tokens, and you're going to get cash back, and you can get cash back on 75% of those. So you're going to get 400 back. Well, you're supposed to be able to stake all your earnings. If you want, you can just keep staking them. But if you stake those 400 back, now you got at least 400 you could spend 75% of. So, just to use round numbers, let's just say, without doing the math, that was 300. You spend that 300. And now you got, whatever you got, 200, 225, you can spend that. So you stake that. Now you're going to have about 150 out of the 200 that you can spend. And if you keep doing that and enough people do that, they're going to strip their tokenomics. They're going to, their reward pool would essentially get destroyed if that happens. So I wonder how many people were doing stuff like that potentially as well. Because their tokenomics is on buys and sells. It's not on cash outs. So there is clearly a tokenomic issue, which from the beginning, in one of my videos, I mentioned Gasgains had the most aggressive tokenomics. And that's the key. People are worried about, oh, you make more with Gasgains. I don't give a flying flip how much more I make. What I really am concerned about is, am I going to get it back? Are they going to be able to keep paying the cash back? It doesn't matter how much I'm getting back. It doesn't matter if they pay me 100% on my cash back or they pay me 50% on my cash back. Give me 50% and let it work properly over giving me 100% and it doesn't work properly. So that's kind of what I'm noticing. There's some potential issues here. They're going to have to change their tokenomics more than once a week. Now, the once a week thing is probably because the other tokens, one of the other tokens, Ethanol, we'll get to in a minute, they ran into this issue as well on why it got moved to once a week. And basically, they're saying on their end, there's a lot of gas fees for the smart contract itself to be ran, and it was getting very, very expensive. Their gas fees were. So they moved it out from every other day to every 3 days. Now, UniDex does something a little bit different. We'll get to that in a minute. So they moved it out to every 3 days. So I think their gas fees must have been putting them under a lot of pressure because they suddenly moved it out to once a week. Just bam, all of a sudden once a week. And I think when they started going through, I think it started out with a glitch in the UI, and when they had people submit if they didn't get their rewards, and they told everybody it's transparent. You don't have to worry about it. All the rewards are going to get paid. I think they started looking at how much they were spending in gas to pay out those rewards that didn't get paid, and I think that was part of the problem. And so they've just got some tokenomic issues they're going to have to work out. Would I be buying GasG tokens right now? Heck no. Heck no. And anyone in Telegram telling people, oh, you buy now or you're going to regret it when it's $100, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, do I think the project still has potential? Yeah, maybe, but they got issues right now. I wouldn't be coming in onto it. I would just be holding it and waiting to see if their issues get resolved. That's the bottom line. Because, look, I got staked tokens here. I can't unstake them. You can't unstake. You have 0 tokens locked. It's not true. I've got 551. By the way, this has always been the message here. It's a bad message. It should say you've locked your tokens for 30 days or your 30 days hasn't expired yet or whatever. Now, in Telegram, just so you know, people are like, oh, you can look at the contract. They got a lot of tokens in the contract. It's true. There is a lot of tokens still in the contract, the reward pool contract supposedly. But we don't know how many of those tokens still need to get paid out and what would be left after they paid those tokens out. Again, it's based on the fees, and they charge the least amount of fees compared to how much they're willing to pay out in gas back. So that sustainability of their reward pool is a concern. Now, that's enough about Gasgains. We'll see what's going on with them. We'll have, at this point, I'm just waiting and seeing. But I'm just, people, I don't understand how people can say, oh, you need to buy. And I guess they're trying to pump their own bags. They're trying to be like, hey, if the price doesn't go up, then we're never going to be able to cash out. I don't know what that's all about. I'm not okay with that. I mean, be a decent freaking human being. If you have so much of your crypto tied up into a brand new project like this, and that's more than you can risk, you don't need to be in it. And if it's so much pump people to get in when you know there's potential problems, it's fine to tell people, hey, it may be going up. You can say that. You can say, hey, once they get the kinks worked out, this may be going up. But you need to be honest about the kinks, people. Like, don't have such poor character that you can't be honest that there's a problem with the doggone platform. And I'm mainly talking about people in Telegram who keep telling people, oh, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon. Maybe, but there's a big roadblock right now, and that roadblock is poor communication with devs, and it looks like the project cannot work as advertised at this very moment. That's at least how it looks. Now, maybe all this is getting tracked somewhere on the blockchain, and I just don't know it. Maybe it's all there. It's just ready to claim. They just, for whatever reason, maybe the gas fees are too high. They're like, we're moving it to once a week. Don't worry about it. And maybe by the time you watch this, there's going to be a timer up here, as they said, and there's going to be some sort of pinned explanation somewhere, or there'll be something in Telegram by the time you watch this video. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Maybe the devs are exhausted. They stayed up all night trying to figure this out. They had a problem, and they've all, simultaneously collapsed, and they can't respond on Telegram right now because they're, dead asleep trying to catch up on much needed sleep. But once they wake up, they're going to go right back at it. Maybe so. Maybe that's the case. But at this point, you're just stuck waiting and seeing whether you want to wait and see or not. So that's Gasgains. That's the bad news. I will tell you there is one other project. I won't even mention it by name. They've not been able to effectively pay out one reward at all. And their tokenomics were even more aggressive than Gasgains. So I never touched that one because I thought that doesn't even look remotely sustainable to me. So I just never touched that one. Next up is Ethanol Token. So this one has worked pretty well. They've got a really good communication actually in their Telegram. Still, I'm just refreshing. This has gone up quite a bit in value. I've been pulling out. As I just told you, they moved rewards to every 3 days because they said the fees on their end were so expensive right now. Gas is quite high. I'm trying to do a video on liquidity mining pools. Look at that, and it just keeps going higher and higher. So, with that being said, the great thing about these tokens is they're not staked. These are all in my wallet right now. I can sell all these tokens right now. I have 5 tokens right now valued at $3,500. I can sell them right now if I wanted to. With this particular project, you get 2.5% of your token value in cash back. And this is the daily limit, and it's paid out once every 3 days, and once every 3 days it moves here. They put up a timer, which is great. So you know exactly when the next cashback is coming. You sometimes have to connect. This project is working really, really well. I really like it a lot. And so as long as it continues to function well, continues to do well, we'll be good to go on this one. There's not a whole lot to say. It functions as advertised. Next up, UniDexGas. Again, if you haven't seen the video, UniDexGas is my favorite one, and I'll tell you why in a moment. It is by far my favorite one. I have one major complaint against UniDexGas and only one. So UniDexGas has done well. The prices went up. Yesterday the price was at like $9.40 or $9.30. It was up there, which is awesome. And it may continue to climb because they're doing a lot of things right. They have the smoothest dashboards. If you want to know how to buy these tokens, again, go watch my video, posted questions. I talked about most commonly asked questions. I linked it above. Go watch that video. It shows you how to purchase the tokens. UniDexGas video, I did one video where I just talked about this one in depth. And I'll update that video with some time. I hope to discuss all these projects that work and that survive, that do well. I hope to discuss them all in depth. UniDexGas pays out 2% a day. They have the smoothest working dashboard. It works flawlessly. When you make a claim, this button will turn green. When you can make a claim every day, or you can let it stack up. You don't pay gas on your end. They pay gas on their end, and they deduct it from the amount of tokens that you're getting back. I recommend that you just let this stack up for a couple $100 at least. And as you can see, I've gotten out so far 1.74 tokens, which is roughly $1,300. This project is doing phenomenal. Now, I did notice yesterday when I made a transaction, for whatever reason, it took a while to show up on the dashboard, but it did that here on Ethanol and on UniDexGas. It took for a while for that to show up, but when it showed up, it took about 30 minutes. But when it showed up simultaneously on both dashboards. I really like this project a lot. They have the most sustainable tokenomics, but here's the best part about this one. My one complaint, by the way, about this project is their devs are not very active in Telegram. I don't know if they have full-time jobs or what. They're just not in Telegram a lot. They don't always respond to you if you ask questions. I mean, they will respond to really important questions, but they seem to respond, but it can take a while, and I don't know. They're just not that active in Telegram, and I don't personally like that a whole lot. Here is what I do like. I actually responded to the dev in Telegram. I asked him a question, Bitcoinly, I think his name is, one of the devs. I said, listen, as far as sustainability, so these guys, they have the way their fees work is it's a 4% fee if you go to buy it on Telegram. I mean on Uniswap. If you go to buy the token, you pay a 4% fee. If you try to buy 100 tokens, which that would be about $7,600, but if you try to buy 100 tokens, you're going to only get 96 tokens. There's a 4% fee. That fee goes to the rewards pool, and that rewards pool is how they pay out the rewards. The challenge I have and with all of these tokens is they're not very transparent. They all need a bar to show how full their rewards pool is, because they kind of give this impression that it's full and it's going to stay full and it's always going to pay out. No, that's not true. It's just not true. They may have to adjust their tokenomics, but they could still be transparent with how much was in their rewards pool. And so I was asking the guy on Telegram, because this token is designed to hold. I mean, the price is probably going to go up, not investment advice at all. I'm just a YouTuber, but I think I can see the price going up, especially as it continues to work so well. I mean, I can see it going up a lot. However, it's made to hold. So you pay that 4%. You never pay another fee. You pay a 10% fee when you claim, but you're still getting paid out 90%. I mean, if you pay so in other words, if you spend $1,000, this is a minimum amount. I think you'd have to have $200 worth of tokens, but let's just say you spend $1,000. That means you're going to get, if you spend $1,000, you're going to get what? $20? No, wait, $100, $20, I guess, right? 2%. Yeah. So you're going to get $20 back. You're going to pay a fee where you're only going to have $900 worth. So you're going to get about $18 back, right? So that all you got to do is claim more fees than that 4% fee. And at that point, the reward pool is running a deficit to you, meaning that reward pool is profitable to you. And as long as you don't sell and buy back in, you're always capitalizing on that reward pool. The people who keep selling and buying back in are the ones paying that 4% fee when they buy back in. But if they're transparent, at some point that reward pool is going to dip low, because the whole project is designed just to hold the token. And at some point, the reward pool is not going to pay out. Or it shouldn't pay out. I mean, that's how it should work, particularly if it's more decentralized. So even though they'll pay out up to 90% cash back, when the reward pool is empty, you don't get any rewards. That's normal. What would happen is people would start selling. They currently don't charge a fee on the sell. They should charge a fee on the buy, the sell, claiming, transferring. There should be a small tax on everything. So, because the theory is if all of a sudden people start selling because they're not getting rewards back, then those sales that tax on those sales, 4%, 5%, whatever, is going to start filling back up the reward pool, and then it would start paying again. And of course, people would start getting their rewards. That might cause the token price to go back up a little bit. Rewards pool may dry up at some point. All of a sudden, guess what? People aren't getting rewards. They start selling. Rewards pool fills back up. That's how it should work in a typical normal cycle. But I asked the dev, I said, listen, this token is made to hold. The only fee you really get is on the 4% and the 10%, but that's nothing. The 4% is the bigger fee. I said, why don't you charge a fee on the 4% on the buy, 4% on the sell? And what he told me gave me a lot of encouragement. He said, we're watching the tokenomics. Basically, I'm summarizing. We're watching the tokenomics. We're watching the reward pool, and are willing to make any and all adjustments when needed to maintain sustainability, or as much sustainability as possible. And I just thought, that was a good answer from a dev. Okay, I got it. And I actually was wishing at that moment, I was like, I wish I could buy some more. I wish I would have now, because I think it was at 550, 600, and it went all the way up to 900 and something. So this one is a hold for me. We're going to watch it. I like the devs are willing to adjust the tokenomics to create the sustainability that we're looking for. I think this one's very, very interesting. Another thing, again, people are like, how can these things be sustainable? Go watch my video. I'll link it above. It's in the description on frequently asked questions. Now, here's something that people don't consider. They pay you out gas fees. If I go to make a gas transaction right now and it costs $50, if the price is low, they're going to pay more rewards out of the reward pool to cover my $50 in gas. As the price goes up, they need less. Price appreciation creates sustainability. They have a lot of, all these tokens really and truly have a tremendous incentive to create adoption so their token prices go up, because as more people come in, I mean, this thing could 2x, 3x, 5x, who knows how high it could go. But it would mean that they pay out, the reward pool is going to end up lasting a lot longer, because they pay out, and for $50, they're going to pay out a lot less tokens or a lot less percentage of tokens than they would pay out right now. I'm glad to be here. This cashback actually crossed over about $130 at the peak last night. And I could be wrong, not investment advice, but I think we may see this double before long. I mean, especially as long as it continues to run smooth, and I think it is. If it continues to run smooth, it's going to be phenomenal. Same thing with Ethanol. I mean, it's doing good. The devs here communicate. Their website is a little more glitchy. You got to click on extra buttons. It's just not the better functioning website. They do pay out a little bit better. They've actually been around longer. However, the devs, I will say their strength is the devs communicate a lot in Telegram. And they said there's some new developments coming out in the next week or two, I believe. If these developments are huge, this could cause the price to go way up as well. So I'm loving both of these tokens. By the way, I'm absolutely loving them. Gasgains, I'm hopeful. I'm concerned, but I'm hopeful. We'll see what happens. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, please click the bell notification icon. I'm going to always do my best to be transparent about any of the content that I start talking about, I want to talk about. I want to share with you what's going on. Not investment advice. I don't encourage you to follow me in any of these platforms. If you click on links in the description, they very well are probably referral links. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, understand, do your own research. This isn't financial advice. This project right here is having a lot of problems. And in all fairness, at some point, all the projects had problems. At this point, I was hoping they were having it figured out. They have the most aggressive tokenomics. They're not communicating what's going on. Just doesn't feel good, but I'm hopeful. This is an interesting space, and I love cryptocurrency. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.